According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 14,800 people died of an overdose from prescription painkillers in 2008. In 2009, painkillers were responsible for more than 475,000 emergency room visits. More than 12 million people claim they used painkillers without a prescription in 2010. These numbers continue to increase, even in the 2-square-mile town of Manville. 28-year-old Mark Greger lost his life a few months ago after years of struggling with prescription painkillers and eventually heroin. His younger brother Mike knows all too well the damage painkiller addiction can cause.
Something wasn't right. He wasn't acting like his normal self. And then it started getting worse and worse and worse, and then he eventually switched from painkillers over to heroin because it's a lot cheaper. And he started, it's a horrible drug, does horrible things, started lying, stealing. I mean, he's drained my bank account multiple times. He's taken money out of my parents' bank account multiple times.
Mike enjoys remembering his brother before the addiction took over. Being the younger brother, Mike looked up to him and has fond memories of the time they spent together.
He was my idol, just hanging out with him every day. He was just an all-around great kid, going out doing things with him, whether it was fishing, snowboarding, surfing. He really taught me how to snowboard, which would bring me up to Mountain Creek a couple times a year. Taught me the ropes at that. He was good. I was horrible. So, yeah, it was good. It was just having fun, quality time, between brothers.
Mike began noticing a serious problem when he started working with Mark at the local car auction. He felt Mark wasn't himself anymore. Then one day, Mike saw something that would make him realize how serious it was.
I knew that it was serious when I was leaving for work and I decided to go look inside of his truck, and I found a bundle of heroin inside the ashtray.
Mark's untimely death has changed the Greger family forever. Emotions and attitudes run high, but they have been working to grow stronger each day as a family.
My family, you can tell they're emotionally distraught. Every day is a new battle, a new struggle. I mean, now that it's around the holiday season, they're starting to miss him more and more and more. But my parents, they accepted the fact that, hey, this happened, it's happened. I mean, every day they continue to grow stronger.
Losing someone puts life into perspective. Mike took this experience as a way to offer advice to other families dealing with this problem.
I'd say stick with him. Don't neglect the power of the drug. Stay with him 110%, be behind him. Whether he falls, be there to pick him right back up, put him back on the right track. I mean, family's the most important thing that you got. And that's what you need to help you get through it.
Some people are fortunate enough to eventually put the bottle down before it's too late. Edward Grzeski, a 28-year-old, suffered from painkiller addiction in college and continued taking them until about 3 years ago.
Painkiller started actually my freshman year of college. Shattered my hand during batting practice, and the great staff we had there, I had to drive myself to the hospital. After like 2 hours, the doctor comes in. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you shattered your hand." And gave me a Percocet right there, and then that was the greatest thing in the world.
Being a baseball player made getting painkillers easier than he could ever imagine. Grzeski got them from his coach and his teammates, and even his trainer provided him with whatever he needed when the team traveled.
Like if we went on trips or anything, he already had that prepared for me to go. However, whatever you would hide it in for me, it was like a little goodie bag that he would give out. It was like fake batteries, put pills in there, or fake chapstick. I would just go on the flight or go on the bus, and we were gone.
It wasn't until Grzeski moved back home that he realized he had a problem. He became less active and increased his intake to about 580 milligram painkillers a day. Although this time, he wasn't taking them for baseball or for an injury.
After college, that's when it basically became like I'm just, now I'm actually just trying to be not sick. And your tolerance went higher. And I mean, there were nights where I wake up on a chair and I was just, don't even remember falling asleep there, don't remember getting there, don't even remember the day or what happened.
In 2010, Grzeski came to realize his life was heading down a dangerous path. Years of prescription drug abuse finally caught up with him.
I hit rock bottom when I was in my room. I was detoxing so bad, but it was terrible. Like, there's stomach pains. You just feel like the worst flu in the world, and everyone was sick of it. Like, my family was sick of it. Almost all my friends were just done.
Grzeski attempted to take on the addiction without any help at first, but he didn't realize how much damage had already been done.
Because for the first, while I just tried on my own, and you just lock yourself away. You don't want to see anyone. You don't want to be around anyone. You feel worthless. Because now everything that you did and went through is now, now you see what you really are, and you're just like, you don't think you're worth anything. You just don't want to be around anyone.
Grzeski finally sought out professional help. He began to talk to a therapist who he still sees today, and started medication that has helped immensely.
Next step, I went to a place on our main street to get on a drug called Suboxone, which was basically it's called buprenorphine with naloxone. That's like a blocker. So even if I was to slip up that day and take a drug, I wouldn't feel it because there's a blocker in it.
Grzeski is doing well today. He has a full-time job with the county and plays in softball leagues. It has been 3 years since he has taken any type of painkiller, and in the future he wants to help teens with a problem he knows all too much about.
Now I work for the road department, Somerset County.
Yeah.
I see my future as a counselor. Either for a juvenile detention center or some youth facility.